Hello and welcome back to MLB The Show 18 and the Jason Parham Road to the Show. I'm Tyrant Saber. Last time out, you will have seen a thrilling extra innings all-star game in which Jason Parham played pretty much no part. Pretty much all the runs and stuff were scored well after he got out of the game. One thing I will disclose is that I had a hang after I got out of the game last time, so I had to replay through it so that I could actually get to the rest of the season, and as a result of which, the All-Star game actually ended in a 4-3 win for the American League. Doesn't really matter that much, I suppose, because it's, it just is what it is. We know how it really turned out, right? So, let's see. We get to now turn our attention towards the rest of the season, and as I noted before the game, the Red Sox are still 4 games up on the Blue Jays in the AL East and taking pole position for the offseason. In fact, they are, right now, looking like they are going to be the ones facing the wild card winners going into the postseason. Right now, the Indians and Twins are tied with 52 wins apiece, although the Indians have 2 more losses than the Twins. The Angels are up in the AL West, and right now the Blue Jays and Indians are tied in the wild card for number of games that they have, not number of games that they've won, but, well, it's complicated. It's all complicated. National League East, the Phillies are still up in their race, 3 games or 4.5 games up on the Nationals. The Cubs are 6.5 games ahead of the Brewers. The Diamondbacks are 2.5 games ahead of the Giants in this iteration of the save that I have. And going into the wild card, the Giants and Dodgers are tied for the wild card. So we get to find out kind of how things play out over the next couple months. We've got about 2 months left in the season, and then we get into the off season. But for the moment, right now, we just need to get out there and get some more.
A player receives an unexpected call. It's his former high school coach.
Hey now, I remember you, Coach. You were the one who was telling me not to give up, even though I thought I sucked at the draft combine, the prospect, the scouting day. It is crazy, Jason. You were not all that good when you started.
Achievers have in their past an important someone who first believed in them.
This is not where a baseball player normally is when they're 22 or so and they're in the middle of their career. So, gotta say, he's getting used to it. And we want to be humble, man. Jason is supposed to be the everyman here. He has grown to be exceptional. That much can't be lied about, but he's not supposed to be, he's not the diva out there. So our next game is going to be Boston versus Baltimore in the Orioles Park. So Jason has played against the Orioles about 6 times before, has a 4-1 record against them. Got a 2.34 ERA and a 2.54 WOBA. So, gonna get out there and get into the second half of the season and see how well we can do out there. Let's get it.
Sunday afternoon baseball from Baltimore. Today, the finale of this 3-game weekend series between the Boston Red Sox and the Baltimore Orioles. Number 11 looks to keep up the pace in the AL batting title race right after this. Andrew Heaney gets the ball in Game 3 of the series. Dan Plesac, what do you got?
Andrew Heaney is an interesting lefty, Matty. At times he could be a swing and miss guy. Good fastball, 92 to 94 miles an hour. Overhand curveball and the slider, so he has the curveball slider mix. His changeup is getting better. If he's throwing strikes early, he could be really tough.
Into the box now, Kevin Lane. He'll lead things off here in the bottom half of the first.
Well, Boston gets nothing across in their half of the first, so Jason has to go out here and pitch his best in the bottom. Let's get it.
Yeah, let's go right here.
He's ready. Here's the first offering. And that one stayed too low, apparently. Well, these Red Sox entering play here this afternoon. Despite that loss last time out, they're still on a pretty nice run as they'd won 6 in a row prior to that.
What an opportunity to get a chance to put our eyeballs on one of the best teams in baseball right now. This team has played so well. Their manager has been on point. Every move he makes is working. Timely hitting.
Okay, 2-0 to Kevin Lane.
The starters have been on point. This is going to be special.
Now, best thing I can say about Andrew Heaney is that ERA of his is looking good. His win-loss record is not great, 4-6, but as I've been saying for a long time, wins and losses are not a good way to evaluate a pitcher because they're way too dependent on the defense behind them, and especially the ability or lack thereof of their team to score runs.
Foul ball.
And when your team doesn't score runs, by definition, you can't win the ball game.
3-1.
He's only 4 pitches in, but he doesn't look too sharp to start the day off.
Okay, Jay. Well, your two-seamer's not looking too sharp today. Let's see what that cutter does.
The 3-1. Hit in the air out to center
Not
field.
much. Just kind of hangs there in the center of the zone. Does go for a flyout. Let's see if we can take a look.
Starting lineup. Danny, any thoughts?
I don't think I remember to grab the. I did not remember to grab my customary screenshot of the lineups today, so I'm not sure who is out there in center. I'm pretty sure it's our man Barney Saltzman, the rookie who's filling in for Jackie Bradley Jr. But
Whit Merrifield. And there's a
in the absence of my actual screenshot, I got nothing to show for it.
First delivery to him on the way. Grounder down the line.
Early grounder.
This is foul for the first strike.
Reaches for one on the inside. Let's try a slider. See if he goes for it. Yes, he does.
He's really getting the better of him now. It's strike 2. Parham, a right-hander standing 6'3". He was a 25th round pick during the first-year player draft of 2018.
What an absolute steal. I mean, this guy has gotten a lot of people some big raises in the organization. To be drafted as low as he was and turned himself into one of the biggest superstars in our sport. I am very impressed with what this guy's been able to accomplish.
Well, whenever they talk about Jason, I'm obliged to go back to his numbers and point it out to you. His rookie year, the 14 games he played for the Padres in 2019, he had a 2-7 record, which may or may not mean much, but he also had a 6.61 ERA and a 6.33 FIP, so he was by no means good.
Let's go right here. Now another 0-2.
He improved to 3.63 and 3.87 in his second year in the game, but it wasn't until year 3, or 2021 really, his third season in the majors, his second full season, that he got anywhere near the level he is at right now, which is he had a 2.71 ERA and 2.72 FIP playing for the Mets, Nationals, and Red Sox.
He didn't try and do too much. He took what the pitcher gave him, got the front foot down, and was able to fist feed a soft liner over the infielder's head for a knock.
So Whit Merrifield gets himself a soft liner out into left field. And that's a man on first with one away.
Designated hitter, Ray Mancini.
And here's the big right-handed power threat.
Okay, that circle change gets over to the bottom of the zone.
Strike 1.
Here we go, guys. Hey, one away, one away.
Right at Jose Abreu there at first. And that's a nice double play to get me out of it.
Get him out of the inning. So nothing in the Orioles first. Second inning coming up from Baltimore. No score.
Okay.
So now it'll be the 4-hole hitter, Justin Upton. He'll get to take his first cuts here.
Justin Upton.
Ready with the
Try
first
that
pitch.
cutter. Boston gets nothing across in the first. Still nothing going into the bottom of the second.
Set up behind the dish is Woody Keller as you see the rest of our umpiring crew there.
You know, D-Row, Woody Keller's a good umpire, but at times the consistency kind of wavers a little bit. I'm not sure if you
Swing and a miss on a changeup inside. Way early on that one, and now the call's for a slider outside.
He can be a little inconsistent, Dan, no question about it, but he's approachable. As an offensive player, I just want to be able to turn around and say, is that as far as you're going today? And Woody will usually
I don't like this slider, but
And a slider's in
put
the dirt.
one
Laid
well
off for a
outside the
ball.
zone into the dirt.
Great job to lay off on that nasty slider right there. It's the toughest pitch. It was my toughest pitch to lay off of. I was always sitting fastball middle away, and when that slider came
And
out, boy, did it look like
high
a heater for a long
two-seamer
time.
just above the zone.
And tough fastball to lay off on 1 and 2, but he did, and it's 2 and 2 now.
So go for a changeup inside.
And this ball is crushed deep down the
Gets
right
it,
field line.
but it's fallen foul.
Romero
And in
will get
fact,
there as he tracks it down deep
right
in
fielder
foul territory for round
gets hold
number
of it.
1.
So here's how the Bo Sox are positioning themselves defensively.
So
The guy I wanna focus
it's
on
Randall
is
Romero
outfielder
out there
Jason
in right, Mikey Matok in center, and Andrew Benintendi in left, Jose Abreu, DJ LeMahieu, Raul Mondesi, Rafael Devers, Blake Swihart, and of course Mr. Jason Parham on the bump.
Accurate arm, and we know he can roll the pole.
Batting fifth,
Ready now, Derek Dietrich. And he really thrives in the batter's box here at home. Something to keep an eye on in this one.
Okay, he tapped that cutter high in the zone.
Bottom of
But
the
he was
second
early on it.
No score.
Let's try a curveball, low. Swing and a miss on
Swinging
one that
strike,
finds
and
its
now
way
it's
to the
0-2.
outside corner. Early on that one as well. How about a slider inside on the hands? Give it a try.
Hit down the line at first.
That one
Wind up foul, still
is foul.
0-2.
So no good. Still early on it. But the call is for a high outside fastball, and having gone off speed 2 in a row, I think that's where I want to go.
Here comes another 0-2. Swing
and a
on the
miss.
fastball that time, out number 2.
And there goes
Nice
Derek
two-seam
Dietrich.
fastball there. You don't usually see a lot of swings and misses with that pitch unless it's really moving. So that one must have had some real good late life.
Yeah, he had good timing on it. He just spotted it well wrong.
catcher, Wellington Castillo.
Wellington
catcher,
Castillo is the guy I
Wellington
was thinking
Castillo.
of from the White
As the
Sox,
first
who
pitch to him's a
homered
changeup.
off of
Can't
Jason.
find the zone. It's ball 1. That batting average hovering in the high 230s. 8 home runs, 27 driven in.
and hitting 6th in the row is not, not bad.
Mondesi picks
Raul
it up.
Mondesi over at short gets it over
Throw
to
on the
Jose
first, gets
Abreu,
him,
and
the
that's
side is retired.
3 away.
1, 2, 3 go the Orioles. We'll move to the 3rd with no score. There's the Inner Harbor in downtown here in Baltimore. Charm City, as it's nicknamed, as the 3rd. Here's Echeverria.
Okay,
now,
still
as we
nothing
move on to
across
the
after
bottom of
2
inning number
innings.
3.
2.5 at this point.
Adeni Echeverria.
See what Jason
pitch
and his
coming,
slider
here it
can
is.
do. First pitch.
Knee-high
He gets it
slider
across.
that he takes a look at.
They're calling for the second one, same spot. I'm going to go ahead and use a little showtime on this one because I've been pretty conservative with it. And I hate missing with my sliders.
Ground over to first.
This bouncer's
Taken
on
in
over
by
to
Abreu.
Jose
And
Abreu
he'll
at
step
first,
on
and that's
first for
another
the
out.
3 unassisted.
Looking pretty efficient today so
One
far.
away. Time for a check of the standings in the American League East as you get a look at where these two teams find themselves entering play.
And you can see the Alpha and the Omega, Boston, Baltimore, going at it today.
And that'll bring up one of the top prospects in the game, Raimel Tapia, who's back in the starting lineup for this one after sitting out last night's game.
And I'm
With the
pretty sure
first
after
pitch,
this
here
many
it comes.
years, Raimel Tapia is no longer
Takes a
considered a
look at the
prospect.
strike
If he's
over the
playing on a
inside
major league
corner.
roster, even if he's hitting 8th for the Orioles, he's a major leaguer.
ground ball
Bouncer up the middle, but it gets past Mondesi at short. And Denny Echeverria gets himself a base hit.
Lawn dart felt so.
We were already past the no-hitter in the first inning, so not a big deal. But
Needed that one.
So here is Avisail Garcia. It was a two-hit effort for him, including a home run in last night's game. First pitch of the
once
at-bat.
again,
On its tailor-made.
there's a double play ball.
4-3.
Mondesi
Nice
to
dig at
DJ
first, and the
LeMahieu
inning is
to
over.
Jose
No
Abreu.
runs on
Get me out of it.
errors and no one left. On now to the top of inning number 4, and we are tied 0-0.
Hey, come on, get ahead.
Ready for another chance? Kevin Lane. He flew out in his last at-bat.
This game is rolling right along as
Okay.
we move into the middle innings with no score. You'd think by now one of these two teams would be able to get some base runners on and get them in, but that hasn't been the case.
1-0 the count.
So clearly, the
Hey, nobody away.
pitching has been pretty good so far.
He's ready. Here's the 1-0.
I would appreciate the ability to see kind of what the recap was on the Boston offense was without having to go into the menus and look at it. Kind of takes me out of the action. But with what we have, right over to Rafael Devers. Quick little grounder, gets it over to Abreu for the first out. Not bad. Whit Merrifield got himself a single first time around.
Third baseman, Whit Merrifield.
Here comes the first pitch. Takes
Okay,
a
nice
look at
little
one
cutter
catching
there.
The outside corner.
Here we go now, let's go.
Gonna throw another cutter. I'm not.
Hey, you got it. No one better. Let's go.
0-1
I mean, I
count. Here's
guess
the pitch.
I should be more confident in my two-seamer than I am in my cutter. But when I'm thrown to that side of the plate, I would much rather throw a cutter that breaks outside than the two-seamer that breaks
One thing you
inside.
don't want to do, though, Matt, it's not a good idea to throw the same hitter, the same pitch 3 times in a row, back to back to back.
So we're going to go same break, but less. Ooh, and he reaches for one well outside the zone, and he goes down on strikes. Have a seat and get comfortable.
Cy Young Award discussion at this point in the season. It's pretty hard to argue against it when you watch him dominate a guy on 3 pitches and send him packing without much problem.
Now batting, a designated hitter, Trey Mancini.
So Trey Mancini gets a cutter outside to begin. That was not outside, Jay.
It's 0-1. Comes into this at bat 0 for 1 in the ball game.
Wait for your pitch up there.
So try two-seamer low this time.
Gets the
No
fastball
contact
line here.
there, and I'm not sure if he was early or late on it.
This is what makes him so dangerous as a pitcher. 5 weapons.
Yeah, actually
that
was
he can
good,
go
had good
to,
timing on it.
and
He
he's
just
working ahead in the
missed.
count. This is a tough matchup.
So, what do you say, Jay? What a low curveball.
And he'll try
Well,
and
that
tempt him
certainly
with
was
one in the
low,
dirt,
but
he'll
it
hold
didn't get
back
the
here.
swing
It's
like I was
1
hoping
and 2.
for. Slider outside
In
is the
dirt.
call.
Listen, this team's a very free
I'll give it to
swinging
him.
team, so he's just going to go ahead and try to keep bouncing. If they're going to swing at him, he's going to keep throwing him.
So that one looks pretty good. That one is over.
Mayhew gets to it. The tag.
And nice tag from Jason Parham to get Trey Mancini out on the run.
3 down for the
And that
Orioles.
is the end of the 4th.
Still tied, 0-0.
Nice hustle for Jay.
Here's Justin Upton now. So far, 0 for 1 with a flyout.
Left fielder,
Still nothing across after 4.5. At the halfway point in the game, and there's nothing come across so
In
far.
there for strike 1.
Nice little cutter. First pitch.
Up there.
Going low two-seamer now.
No one out now. Come on, baby.
You can see from this angle of camera,
Upton in a hole. 0-2
nice
the count to
swing
him.
and a miss on a two-seamer inside the zone. You can see from this angle of camera the break on Jason's two-seamer, how it comes out and then it dips to the right.
The windup
And that's the
and 0-2
defining
pitch.
characteristic of a two-seam fastball is that it tails to the arm side of the pitcher throwing it. So a right-hander like Jason, it'll leave his hand and it'll tail off to the right, whereas a left-hander, like, say, Meatball, if we were to use him as anything other than a, threat to small children, would tail off to the left when he throws it. Swing and a miss on a slider, and Justin Upton goes down on strikes.
So still nothing against him on the scoreboard here in the fifth as we check out the league leaderboard for team ERA. And you can see that this staff currently leads the AL in that category.
Yeah, it's not wise to get too boastful about it right now, but going into this game, Jason had a 1.88 ERA, and it may not be leading the AL among starting pitchers, but it certainly is very, very good as far as pitching performance goes.
Ready to deliver.
So,
here's the first pitch.
Go with another cutter to lead off. And that one's center
Bases
cut
are
more or
empty,
less,
one man
but
out.
no swing.
Come on, man. Get your pitch up there.
Here's a good view of it, too. You can see how it the trajectory is towards the batter, but it'll tail back inside, and you see that kind of diagonal trajectory on it. This is at odds with something like a cutter, where when you throw the ball, it tails off to the glove side. So from Jason, it would go right to left, or for Meatball, if he had one, it would go left to right. I'm going to go ahead and use a curveball here just because. We use some showtime just because. And that got all up in Blake Swihart's beeswax.
Right, but if he's going to execute
for
get this swing and a miss,
another
have to
0-2
get that
count.
ball a little bit further down, maybe even potentially bounce the next one.
Now a fastball
And a foul tip.
but held on to behind the plate.
And that'll see him gone, too.
Strikeout victim as there are two away now.
Derek Dietrich gone on 2 strikeouts now.
All business. He's not messing around trying to pick at corners. He's being aggressive in the zone, and he's attacking each and every one of these
So
hitters.
going into the bottom of the fifth, we are still 0-0, 2 outs.
Here in this one.
Here's a circle change, which does pretty much the same thing as the two-seamer as well, but it's a more pronounced downward tilt.
Wait for a good one.
So comes out of the hand and slows down and drops a lot more than a two-seamer or a fastball would.
Throw to first will get him easily in the side.
And hey, 1 pitch, 1 out, and that'll take us out of the fifth inning entirely with a 0-0 score.
Still zip.
How about we get some runs across, guys?
Riding in once again, Adani Echeverria.
Yeah, no runs across, still going into the sixth, or the bottom of the sixth.
Hey, drive it deep, big dog. Here we go. Come on, baby.
So, going with the slider first pitch.
A swinging bunt.
Tapper in front of the plate. Swihart's got it.
And that's out
1 pitch,
number
1 out. That's 48 pitches after 5 1/3 innings, which is
Now it's
pretty dang good, actually.
He reached on a single in his first try.
This is in stark contrast to the game I just played previously, where it took me nearly 2 hours to sit through 12 innings of live baseball, or nearly live baseball.
First offering on its way.
Granted, it started at about a 1-1 or a 2-2 count pretty much every at-bat, which, speeds it up some. And I didn't have to sit through commercial breaks either. But clearly, it was an experience that would set noted
Devers gloves it.
noted methamphetamine fiend Rob Manfred at ill at ease. So Raimel Tapia's down and out.
Avisail Garcia.
Now batting.
And we have faced the minimum today. The 2 hits that we've allowed have been erased on double plays.
Here
And now,
the pitch for Garcia.
at the bottom of the sixth, after 17 outs,
Garcia.
We're now
30
facing
years of age.
Avisail
Contract is
Garcia,
set to expire at the end of this season, so he may end up hitting the market
who
this winter.
represents the number
Some guys
9
only
hole
get to
hitter
free
on
agency
the
one time in their career.
Orioles
This guy
lineup.
has a chance to get there for a second time and in the prime of his career. Is he able to handle the pressure as he plays out this final season?
Come on now, kid.
From
Well.
the windup, the 1-1 pitch. Chopped weakly to the
Little
left.
chopper over to
And a bit of a high throw that time. No
name,
problem over the
Rafael
front
Devers.
towards the out. So they
And
cruise
that
through this half of the
is
inning.
2 cycles
We're
through the
six
lineup.
full, and we still
End of
have
the
no
6th.
score.
We still have nothing across.
Into the box now, Kevin Lane. He's 0 for 2 thus far in this one.
Starting to run out of time. They haven't been able to score any runs as we're moving late into this one. A perfect time for this leadoff guy.
Well, now
to
we're
try
at
to get on
53
base and
pitches
ignite a
after
rally.
6 full.
Swinging a ball line softly down the line in right. Foul.
And with Kevin Lane at the plate, we're starting to run out of outs, and so they're running out of outs, but so are we.
Pitch, drive it deep.
I don't know
Here we
what that
go.
was.
No one out now.
We got 9 outs in which to collect a couple runs. Come on, Jay. Shit.
Oh, and he has some
Oh,
trouble
and
with it.
Raul Mondesi can't get it, so Kevin Lane finds
I
himself
know he
on
didn't
base.
smoke that one from the offensive standpoint, but you know what? A knock's a knock.
That's
especially to
unfortunate,
lead off
but
an inning.
not terribly
Game
surprising,
tied,
perhaps.
and it's getting late. That could prove
Okay,
to be
Jay.
pivotal.
Third baseman.
It's time to earn your money, huh? You're eligible for arbitration after this season, after all, so you're going to want to perform really well so that you can get yourself that fat MLB sanctioned contract. And I will go into greater detail about arbitration and such once we get to the end of the season and it becomes appropriate to do so.
Come on, big guy. You got this.
And
Swing and a
struck him
miss
out. So he's down
on a
strikes for the
fastball
second time this
outside.
afternoon.
That's 2 strikeouts for Whit
Knocking
Merrifield.
him down all afternoon. We've seen a lot of punch outs from him where he didn't get much resistance. 3 pitches right there, and see you later.
Goodbye. Have a great time.
Up next for the Orioles. Designated hitter.
One time.
Ray Mancini.
And here's the big right-handed power.
So, on the black, changeup for Trey Mancini. He's got contact with the ball so far. He just hasn't had any success getting it past the fielders.
Do it. No one better. Let's go. Hey, 2 ball
He's
right.
ready. Here's
And there's a runner,
strike called. Now the throw down.
but
Bounces,
tagged
but is
out.
Nice play there to pick the
Nice
throw and put the tag
throw
on
from
quickly.
Blake Swihart
Every catcher can make
with
that
DJ
throw, so
LeMahieu
that
to
was
get the
pretty
man
special.
out.
Benito Santiago made throwing from his knees famous when he was playing, but it's a
Right
really
there
tough
to
one
get
pull
him.
off.
Very,
That's a long
very
throw
nice
without
play.
any legs underneath you,
And
so
that,
hats
again,
off to him on that one.
takes away the base runner and leaves us facing the minimum right now. So Trey Mancini at the plate with 2 outs. Can we get rid of him, perhaps? Can we get rid of him? Can we face the minimum? Swing and a miss, and he's gone on strikeouts. So we finish the 7th inning.
Time around for the O's, and this is still
We are still pitching super efficiently, and we still have a chance to go all the way.
So now the Oriole cleanup hitter, Justin Upton, 0 for 2 here to start the afternoon.
Not sure if this is a powerhouse pitching performance by both teams or bad hitting, but as we're moving late into this one, it's about time somebody put something together to try to score a run.
Well, somebody scored. I mean,
Straight up, straight up.
our guys scored 14 against the Astros. I don't know how good we are in comparison to them anymore, but one pitch, 1 out for Justin Upton. Nice little sky out straight to Jason's glove, though Jason's glove had to travel about 60 feet to get there.
To wonder if anyone's going to play to run in this one.
Well, there are no scoreless ties in baseball, so we have to, somebody's got to score.
Hey, get your pitch up there.
Here
See
comes
what we
the
can
first
do.
pitch.
I don't think the problem is Boston's bats. I think it's Baltimore's got a really good pitcher in Andrew Heaney right now. So kudos to them.
Go, guys.
It's just unfortunate for them that they are facing potentially one of the best pitchers in the game in Jason Parham. And with a nice diving catch from Jose Abreu, that's 2 outs with 4 men to go, 64 pitches. If we close this one out, if Boston scores in the top of the 9th and we can close out the bottom, this will be potentially one of the lowest pitch count games in recorded MLB history.
Now the pitch.
But first, of course, we got to score a run. Oh! And a season's worth of work goes down the drain after Jason plunks his first batter finally after, what is it? It has been 20 games this season, and he had gone all that time without hitting anybody. But Wellington Castillo gets plunked by Jason Parham after the All-Star break, and the perfect streak is over.
Here's Echeverria now, as he takes a cold strike at the knees. It's 0-1. He's 0 for 2.
It's all cool, though.
So far.
No longer facing the minimum either at this point. We can't get a double play.
Behind 0-2 now.
Fly ball. I don't think Abreu's going to get it. Nope.
No one will get this
so that one is well out of there. Let's go ahead and use a little showtime here because I've been real conservative with it. Got half a meter left in the 8th. Ooh.
Wow, that was a pretty good 2-strike slider right there.
The is very much not in my corner this time. Because that one was pretty good, and he didn't like it.
Misses, and we're even at 2-2.
Okay, 2-2 count after 2 balls. This pitch call is a second changeup.
Here we go, no one better.
Here now the 2-2.
Try it again.
And he'll stay alive.
And Echeverria will tap it.
At the plate, and the count holds at 2-2.
So let's go cutter away, I think.
Now another 2-2.
That was pretty much just a waste pitch. So this time I got nothing to spare on this one. So let's go inside, 2-seamer. And it's a nice pop-up, but DJ is going to get over there and make the out. So with 72 pitches under his belt,
one left for the
and
still no score.
72 pitches under his belt and 3 outs to go. Can Jason do it? Are they going to leave him in? And if we don't score in the 9th, are they going to leave him into the... Oh, Pablo Palmeiro gets brought into the game in the 9th. So either we scored a run or we didn't, and they're expecting to go into extras. So I guess we'll find out. Survey says...
Wow, that game flew by, but that's what happens when you get a well-pitched 1-run game. Both hurlers battled, and it's almost a shame somebody had to lose this one.
A single run good enough.
Well, after 8 innings, Jason is pulled out of the game in favor of a reliever, and the game, in fact, goes to 13 innings with a 1-0 victory. But Jason pitches 8 innings, allows 3 hits but no runs, collects 6 strikeouts, and finally plunks a guy with Wellington Castillo. Jason goes to 1.78 ERA on the season. His FIP is at 2.03, and his XFIP is at 2.69. So that's going to do it for me. Until next time, I'm Tyrant Saber, and I will see you at the ballpark.